Yeah, you're a fucking hypocrite. That's what you are, right? It's not hypocritical, this is who I am. And, if you can't accept that, that's your problem. Oh, yeah, well, not everyone wants to fucking see you projecting your identity, right? I'm not projecting anything, right? I'm not projecting anything. It's a floating signifier, like we've already established. Having long hair or short hair, those are also floating signifiers. Wearing pink is a fucking floating signifier. What's the difference if it's a fucking armband? Yeah, what's the fucking difference? You know what the fucking difference is, okay? Mely, you're being so fucking naive. I don't think I'm being naive. I think Mely Darling has the absolute right idea. She's simply being as she is, as nature intended. Thank you, Liberty. I'm finally glad, I have one of you on my fucking side, right? Because, yes, and together, Mely, we will form a revolution. We will unlock our true potential and fulfill our righteous destiny. You and I, Mely, you and I. Well, fucking, maybe I think you're being a little bit insensitive. It's not fucking insensitive. Who is this insensitive to, right? Who is this insensitive to? Well, maybe people who are fucking, forced to wear armbands. Yeah, but fucking how many people were forced to wear dresses, right? How many people were not allowed to wear fucking pants? You don't say that wearing a dress is insensitive because people were forced to wear. Yeah, it's fucking different, Mely. You can't compare the fucking two, okay? You really can't. Yeah, well, you're the one that did. You're the one that compared the two. You said, why not fucking force an armband on me if you're gonna, force a fucking binary gender on me? Well, I'm wearing an armband as representation, and if you don't fucking like it, that's your problem, not mine. Oh my god. Yeah, well, I guess it is no different to fucking people wearing religious shit, right? Yeah, no different. Yeah, I'm just have my ideology on display for everyone to fucking see. Yeah, well, maybe it makes me uncomfortable, right? Because it makes me uncomfortable to be othered and to be ostracized. Yeah, but, we're othering ourselves, right? We're reclaiming the fucking otherness, right? We're choosing to do this. This gives us power, right? The power to define our own identity on our own terms, right? Because people will look at that armband and they cannot argue with it. They cannot deny what is in front of their face. Right, yeah. I mean, you can't deny me now, right? By having this on, you can't say, like, what I am and what I aren't. I'm fucking trans, and it's not about identity, right? It's about what I fucking gone through. It's not about, what I believe myself to be versus, what other people might, think I am, right? It's not about that. It's about what I fucking gone through, That's what being trans is about. It isn't about identity. It's about fucking transitioning. It's about the journey. That's what being trans is. Yeah, but not everyone has the fucking luxury of transitioning, right? Not everyone can fucking safely transition. Not everyone can safely start hormones. Not everyone can fucking safely, grow long hair or fucking, wear dresses outside. And you're going to deny them, right? You're going to deny them the opportunity to identify with us, even though they share the same fucking struggles, the same fucking burdens as us. Just because they don't have the fucking opportunity and the privilege to go through the same fucking, fucking first world transition pipeline that we go through. Yeah, well, maybe it's culturally specific, okay? So, in our culture where you can transition, transitioning is part of it. But, I mean, in cultures where you can't... All right, fine, I don't fucking know, okay? Because it's not simple, it's not, easy, but, I at the same time, I want to recognize those people that can't transition, but then I don't want to, diminish it and say that, we're simply trans because we identify as being trans, because that doesn't make sense. Like, as far as we know, gender identity is both biological and social. And to say that, a trans person is someone who identifies differently, like, that ignores the biological aspect of what we fucking go through and what we fucking are, and you can't ignore that. Yeah. Well, you can't fucking see the biological stuff. Not always. So how do we fucking know? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, right? This doesn't matter. What's wrong if I want to wear an armband, makes me feel like a part of something, makes me feel like all that we've gone through is, turn me into who I am and not just been a burden. I want to think that what I've gone through, makes me who I am, not simply, what I am now, right? I think, it's not the scars that make you who you are. It's the process of getting the scars and feeling the pain and having to watch the scars heal. Those are what make you who you are. Yeah. Well, if anything, we are your fucking scars. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, you're a scar on my fucking brain. We should have the same brain, so scars on our brain. Yeah, scars on our brain, I guess.